Now, Aoife Costello, you joined the Chamber
Hello.
recently, yeah?
I did. I joined it in November. So Helen Gavin took over as president last November 2019. So I joined as part of the executive committee alongside her. Been a very valuable experience so far.
And what did you think of the Chamber before, or did you know anything about it?
To be honest, Ollie, I didn't know. I'd heard of it, and that's probably as far as I got. I knew very little about it. And I suppose for me, I haven't been in business for a very long period of time. So I suppose it came at a great time for me to get to know what it was about, and obviously get the experience of being on the committee. But so far, I think it's a great organisation, and I mean, the support that's given to local businesses is phenomenal. And it's definitely, if Helen hadn't approached me to go on the committee, I probably still wouldn't have known a whole lot about it. But it's definitely it's worthwhile, getting to know the committee and getting to know what the chamber is about, because there's a lot of benefits for local businesses by being part or by being a member of the Chamber of Commerce.
So tonight we're starting off a little experiment.
Yes.
That we're going to do videos of business people around Westport, and you're the first.
Yeah.
What kind of business are you in?
So I am an occupational therapist, and I set up my own business. It was May 2019. I had worked with the HSE for a number of years, and I left it in May, and pretty much straight away I got my business up and running. I suppose without as I was saying, I was working with the HSE, and I was very active on social media as an occupational therapist. And so this is relevant because this is really where the start of my business came from. So I set up on Instagram probably a year and a half ago at this point, and I was just sharing, I suppose, general tips and tricks for, kids with additional needs or kind of for functional skills. And the page grew so rapidly, I think really because people are so keen on, getting as much information as they can and education. And I suppose, with the HSE, there are a long waiting list. So I was spending a lot of time personally on social media. So I decided, why not make this into something that I could grow a business from. So
for those of us who don't know much about occupational OT, occupational therapy, could you give us a short summary of what exactly you do, or what occupation?
Yes, I would work with kids with a range of different disabilities and abilities. So from kids with autism to Down syndrome, learning difficulties, dyspraxia. So kids might have handwriting difficulties or poor coordination, balance. So what I do is I do occupational therapy assessments for school and for home. And then I have set up my own private practice. So I see kids on kind of a fortnightly basis. Working on it with everyday independent skills, everyday kind of functional skills, from self-care skills to fussy eaters to motor coordination, motor planning. So it's very broad, but very rewarding.
Were you a bit apprehensive giving up your good pensionable lifelong job with the government?
I
risky business of commerce.
Yeah, absolutely, I was. But I suppose I've always had a really keen interest in business. And I suppose when you are working with HSE, there is some limitations in terms of, certain opportunities. So I suppose it's something that I had considered for quite a significant period of time. But I suppose because I was speaking to, fellow therapists, parents, teachers, through social media, through my online platform on a daily basis, I suppose I was gathering information nearly subconsciously at that point on, what was missing, what were people looking for. So my first, business product idea was selling occupational therapy subscription boxes. So every month I would have a combination of maybe 8 to 10 products of a variety of different goals. So from, balance products to handwriting products, with full description of use. So that really took off. And I suppose without having spoken to my target market, I wouldn't have known that this was something people were interested in. So I suppose having that social media platform and, a lot of followers, it really, I suppose, gave me the encouragement that I could speak to people. Was this something that they were willing to buy? And I suppose I always wanted to start my own practice as well. So it was lovely to be able to, see kids in the clinic, but also have that kind of online presence and online store as well. And I suppose it was a nice combination of my working life to have my own bits at home, online, and also seeing kids face to face.
And had you much business experience before this?
No, I had very, very little, to be honest. I studied a Bachelor of Science in Health and Society in DCU after I finished up in Sacred Heart School. And then I did a 2-year master's in occupational therapy. So I did junior cert business, and that is literally the only business knowledge I had. Now, I have to say I'm very lucky. Both my parents are in business, my brother's an accountant. So I suppose that was really invaluable for me to have them for support and guidance. And, without them as well, I suppose I would have been a bit lost where to begin. And I suppose I met Helen Gavin, who owns Bullcraft Marketing, very early on. I just had really a business idea at that point. And I suppose speaking to an expert in the field in terms of setting up businesses, she really got me in motion and got me starting. So I suppose it's so important, when you're setting up, that you do have people to ask questions to and support, because genuinely my level of knowledge in terms of business was poor. Now I've learned more in the last 7 or 8 months than it's an incredible amount I've learned in terms of business, and I've made mistakes like everyone else, but I suppose you learn best from making those mistakes. But yeah, I suppose in terms of business, very little knowledge. But again,
and in all the time you were in college, there was no business module in any of the courses, no?
No, none at all. Mine was all Bachelor of Science, so it was all health. And I suppose as well as that, when I was starting off, there was actually very few occupational therapists to ask questions to, or healthcare professionals, because I suppose a lot of them, unless you're in, general practice as a GP or something like that, there's actually very few therapists that even have private practices, or for that matter, have online businesses. So I suppose it was taking that risk as well without anyone to compare myself against, which can be quite helpful when you're setting up, see how other people are doing. But there was literally, for me anyway, I didn't know anybody. But again, parental support, and my brother as well, and Helen, of course, that really, that gave me the confidence, I suppose, to start off as well.
And when did you start?
I started it last May 2019. So I'll be in business 1 year this coming May 2020.
And then the
so
virus.
Not very long.
And then the virus came.
Yeah, so I suppose the virus came.
Was that a shock to you?
Yeah, it came at a very bad time, because I've moved on from my original, I suppose, business idea, my original products that I'm manufacturing my own products now. So for me, a lot of my products are for school, so I have sensory pathways for school, and I also do a lot of school visits. So I suppose 3 weeks ago now, I had a full week of school visits booked. I had lots of meetings in place with schools about my sensory pathways, and like a lot of other people, I faced a week, or for that matter weeks, of little to no work. And of course I do have the online store, but again, a lot of my products on the online store are school-based products. So it did feel like we were going into what felt like, I suppose, a bit of a recession. So I suppose panic did strike me, but at the same time, since last May, I've barely taken a break from work. So I suppose it was a great opportunity for me to be able to, I suppose, reflect and I suppose reevaluate, where I'm going, where I want to go, and I suppose use this time to my advantage in terms of, there's so frequently I put stuff off, I don't have time to do that, and I work 7 days a week at the minute, so between therapy and online, that for me, although it was scary with the prospect of earning little to no money, at the same time, from a personal point of view, I suppose I have, since the last 3 weeks, I've used it to my advantage. And I would say, I suppose, and as well as that, I've seen other occupational therapists using Zoom and, virtual therapy or teletherapy. And for those who have seen occupational therapists in action, it's very physical. And, I was kind of looking at other people online, and I was trying to figure out how on earth you could do physical, basically, therapy, through a screen. But I will say, as even a bit of advice for other people in business, to look at your competitors, look at what other people are doing, because, generally if there's a will, there's a way. And by speaking to others in the same field, finding out what they're doing and what works and what doesn't work, and just from speaking to other therapists and from doing my own research, that I've done several sessions online the last 2 weeks, and before COVID I would have said there's 0% chance that I would do sessions online, But not only am I seeing my current kids online, now it isn't suitable for everyone. It does depend on the child and their abilities as well. A lot of kids it's not suitable for it. But because of my online platform, like I have over 61,000 followers on Instagram now, and that is like throughout the world, that for people previously that maybe were asking me to do therapy and things like that from, you know, America or England, and the answer was just no. Whereas now, it can be possible. And again, it depends on, you know, the child's needs and that kind of thing. But it has opened a whole new world of work for me, which is all really positive. So I suppose that is one big positive I've taken out of COVID as well. So there is your negative, but I think it's reevaluating and, you know, looking at others and really seeing, you know, what you can do. It's so important.
Okay. And you hope for the future?
I do.
Will you go back to an office again, an office-based business, or will you stay online?
I will. I hope to do both. I think it is, for some kids, it is essential to, you know, see them face to face. And again, teletherapy is not for everyone. So I definitely will go back to, you know, working with kids face to face. But again, this has opened a whole new reality, I suppose, in terms of OT. But I wouldn't cancel you know, meeting people face to face, because that is important for some kids, you know, to be seen in reality or in person.
And finally, what's the 5-year vision?
The 5-year vision. 5-year vision would be, I hope that if I do, you know, to continue, I suppose, you know, come up with new ideas to be able to, you know, help parents through, I suppose, online platforms. I had another thing that I did in the last 3 weeks since COVID was write an ebook, which has you know, done really well. I suppose this is a time where parents are really keen for information. So it's definitely something that I would look into again, is, you know, creating more products that, you know, will really creating, yes, with more products, and you know, maybe expanding services that I'm currently renting a room, so maybe coming up with my own, having my own clinic, and maybe making them more multidisciplinary, so having maybe psychology and speech and language as well as more products.
And what's the name of the ebook?
The ebook is called Sensory Survival Guide, and it's available from my website, www.sensorylivingshop.com.